So it's Monday. I tried to figure out, what to do, where to go, phone calls, trying to get everywhere without my car, which is now back on the road, knowing that Chris had that taken from me. He said it was at Kennyupole, but it's on the road, even though I wasn't even allowed to sell it because of him welding the frame. Knowing that my parents literally are on my abuser's side. Knowing that they've never even taken the time to listen to a word I've ever had to say. They've always believed everybody else. But when they don't take my side, then they don't take my children's side. To know that my record was removed. And that means that my children were taken for no reason. Meaning that if my record was removed and my children were supposed to be reunified with me, why weren't they? Why don't my parents want to help me? Why don't they want us together? When the jail tried to kill me and I got my records, my parents cared for about 5 fucking seconds. The 3 days I spent in that jail, not being able to fucking breathe, and being treated like I was a piece of fucking shit. Being held for imposter police for no fucking reason, being illegally detained, which they knew about the fake cops, meaning it made it a kidnapping. And then being put on probation illegally for a removed charge. Having my parents literally just say, no, no, no. And then everybody just fucking is like, yeah, fuck that bitch. Like, yeah, her family fucking hates her. Fucking her ex beat the shit out of her and her parents did nothing but come up and take her fucking daughter and hand her right to him. The fact that my mother knew that I had multiples and just said that I couldn't handle the truth with Chris when her and my son came up. Knowing that the whole world is siding with people that have hurt me and my children. Knowing that there's no attorney that will accept my calls. Knowing that a girl claimed my money for my murdered child in Portland, because no matter what, anything past 20 weeks is murder. It was 24 weeks, and Erin Chandler forced me. She even went to Mabel Wadsworth with me. She's not even a doctor, and she cut me open, but no. I don't deserve anything. Ezra Barry sues DHHS for my case. Because it was all illegal, and I can't even get food stamps, but my children aren't with me. The people who literally have beaten their children are not supposed to be around people. Can Naomi and Melanie break court orders from Judge Toner Jr., whether it was real or not, because if it wasn't real, then why the fuck aren't my kids with me? But if it was, they are not to have any contact with my children that I do not approve of, is what that judge said. He knew that my sisters were trying to ruin my life. I didn't think that he was helping them with Judge Stitham. I don't understand why Judge Stitham asked about my father being a native foster child. And why Wayne Doan, an embezzler, is my attorney. And then Randy Day, who fucking, it's obviously premeditated. That was Ralph Storer's attorney. And that's why Chris had me move in. And he set this whole thing up to destroy my children. And I don't even know if they're alive. I couldn't have my sons because of Chris's pedophile charges, apparently. But they gave my daughters right to him. There's another person using my identity. I can't even get food stamps. This is another Christmas where my children wake up not together and not with their real mother. My sister Naomi, how did her and Christopher Smith afford to hike the Appalachian and build a big cabin? Oh, my children's pain and suffering money. That's right. But nobody cares about that either. The fact that it states that my child was ripped out of my arms on June 26, 2019 at Eastern Maine Medical Center emergency room was because of me not being supervised. Nothing about drugs. Nothing about a mental psychosis. You take a child out of a mother's arms and lock her in a room, she's gonna go fucking mad. Especially if you give her medicine on her allergies list that are her schizophrenic sister's medications. And then have them call you your schizophrenic sister. To know that it was a 6-hour hold and the police took my child, apparently. But it said remain at home. To know that I completed all of this in 2017. I completed it. I never had an aftercare written on my fucking case plan, my bullshit case plan. It didn't say I had to do this, plus an aftercare. It said I had to complete a substance abuse and a psychological evaluation, which I did. I completed it in November 2019. 2017. Then my children were allowed to be with my sister Melanie, who tried to kidnap my child and kill me in 2012. Who had an indefinite license suspension, who was on drug replacement therapy, was not to have contact with my children as of the state of Maine, without me present, but they allowed her, and that was in 2018. The state of Maine didn't take my child from me at birth. My case has been closed over and over again with me being deemed safe, but my children aren't with me. So then they take my car, they take my home, they take everything. But I should have some sort of money. I should have some sort of settlement. I am not mentally handicapped from not being able to breathe for 3 days in Florida. I somehow, at 88 to 83% oxygen, am pretty fucking with it. I also have brain cancer. I had an operation in 2006. They lied and said it was a sinus surgery. It was a brain operation for my cancer. Again, my parents think I don't deserve shit. I'm not anything to anybody. That's why the whole Noli transition, when Maine was condemned in 2018, the condemnation proceedings, it's unlivable. Chris had moved me into a crime scene fucking house with bodies that had been in the ceiling, literally, and had been buried out back. It was on the news, but the news didn't air it until I lived there. I am not a pedophile. I am not my sister. Melanie actually was 24 years old when she was with a 15-year-old. She is literally criminally insane. Legitimate. I love my sister, but she's fucking crazy. Naomi is a felon for stealing from the federal post office. Christopher Smith is a felon. My felony was removed. Melanie has jumped in front of moving vehicles. She is known, but I am not my sister. My children should not have been placed with my sister ever. That's why it was supposed to be an open and shut case. Why aren't my children with me somewhere safe? Why was that not an option? Why was it everybody put my children in danger? Now, I don't have a car. I don't have anything. And I don't get to talk to my children because Betsy was an entrepreneur and then was into life insurance and then became a social worker. I thought she worked for Veterans Affairs when they were fucking plotting mine and John Havlin's murder. Huh. Why the fuck is she out? She was in my backyard. She posted pictures. She also posted pictures about where they found those shallow graves in fucking wherever. Like digging it up. Like before they were graves. She posted a lot of pictures of shit that she did. Chris also had sent me messages when he had left this country out of Presque Isle. Who was my child with July 19th, 2019? Why am I being fucked with? It's like everything that I have ever lived through, you guys have fucked with me. Put me through 10 times over and 10 times worse than they ever were. To try to get me to what? Freak out? Like, this not being able to die is fucking hell. This isn't a life, and I don't have one person besides my children who ever gave a shit. And now my children are calling some other woman mommy because Christopher Phaneuf doesn't have to fucking follow the laws. Fucking, he kidnapped 2 of my children at birth. At birth. And fucking then you guys let him do another one? Like, what the fuck? Like, how many things does this guy, fucking 2 more OUIs? 2 more since 2017. 2 more minimum that I know of. They were in the newspapers. He already had an indefinite suspension for being a habitual fucking drunk. I called about 8 times. I was seriously fucking injured by Christopher fucking Phaneuf. And not one cop thinks that this is wrong. You guys just keep fucking with me. My parents called in twice because I was a missing person. Now Melanie's telling people she's missing. She was missing. I got arrested on warrants for being a missing person twice. And this is all just a joke to you guys. Have you even talked to your child? I'm not allowed to talk to mine, apparently, because my father was a native foster child. And my father hates me. Stephen John McGrane supports the man who beat the fucking shit out of my daughter, Quinn, and I. My daughter was not with me while she was being molested the fall of 2019. She was with Christopher Phaneuf and somebody else, but my mother knew that. My mother knew that my child was with him the whole fucking time. I am not allowed to get pain medication for some fucking reason. I didn't fail the drug screen. Acadia told them that. Fucking Acadia got me out of that hospital because they weren't doctors. Fucking, there was a child sex trafficking ring. They're even admitting it online. They're saying, look, I have her child. I'm holding them for ransom. Very high price. That was a fucking year ago. I'm Stevie Lee McGrane. I'm a woman. I would appreciate not being treated like a man or having to go to court for Mr. Stephen Lee McGrane. I would appreciate somebody to actually find the people who molested and raped my daughters. I would like to see my children. I would like an attorney. I would like some fucking of my money. I would like Naomi and Melanie McGrane prosecuted. I would like to see my son Trevor. I would like to fucking see my son John. I would like to see my children that were all alive on June 26th and July 4th of 2019. You guys murdered my child at Maine Medical at 24 weeks. In April 2019. And Christopher Phaneuf and another woman claimed that money. And you guys really don't think that is the most disgusting thing in the fucking world? Like, literally, whoever has had Quinn claimed money from my child that was murdered in a hospital and wants to lock me in a hospital. And you guys don't think that's fucked up? I didn't surrender any of my assets because I wasn't supposed to have court. You can't just put something in a newspaper and not actually fucking serve somebody something. And when court paperwork is wrong, if it has one word wrong, it can be thrown out. Where's Pasadena, McKay, Hernando County? Why is my name Sherry McGrane? Why is my counselor apparently named Debbie McGrane? Wouldn't that be a conflict of interest? When did my mother become a fucking psychiatrist for Eastern Maine Medical Center? Why are you supporting pedophilia and fucking rape and fucking abuse? I thought there was no excuse for domestic abuse. I didn't think it was enabled and fucking rewarded by fucking law enforcement and judges. Right? What the fuck do I know? Because I was fucking overdosed by Maine Medical and I fucking was overdosed with fentanyl. And left at a fucking gas pump, so that's all the cops. They just leave it at a fucking gas pump. Now they just let me wake up in a man's pod in Penobscot County Jail that's supposed to be shut down after Jen Dyer died. But my life doesn't matter. It never did it? Just like my Uncle Jim's didn't matter either, right, Kirk? Right? You just deleted everything he fucking did and you took credit. Fucking my Aunt Bonnie knows that Melanie did this. I didn't know that my Uncle Jim was attacked in his fucking house. And then I tried to tell my mother and she doesn't even believe me. And fucking Jessica Tunks is threatening my Aunt Bonnie to me last spring while I was in Florida. And then Betsy calls because Whitley gets a fucking hair across her ass. How does Whitley even have a fucking child? I'm apparently a huge drug dealer, but Whitley Hussey's not. Are you fucking serious? Are you fucking serious right now? Why is her fucking record on mine shit from like 9-10 years ago? I've never stolen a fucking vehicle, and grand theft isn't grand theft auto. These 19-year-old girls that Chris was fucking up in Presque Isle that helped kidnap my child? But again, another day will go by and not one person will give a fuck about my children. I just keep hearing Quinn going, like she's being fucked. That's all this mental hospital plays through my voice to skull fucking bullshit. Is my children screaming for fucking help. And my fucking daughter being fucking sounds like penetrated. By, with Jamie Fisk? I thought they had court for fucking, bank fraud, fucking all this types of fraud. How could you ever let them be fucking foster parents? I thought they adopted my child. Or was it Ashley fucking Nason? Phaneuf. Adams. I don't know.